I think, also too, something that comes to mind and, with these amazing deliveries is shout out to Sawyer, but he posted something from, I think it's Paloi. So shout out to them for the chart. But all that to say is that literally Giga Shanghai, produced or delivered over 247,000, which is over half of what Tesla delivered as a whole company. So,
And the
um,
run rate, I mean, the run rate of Shanghai is now well over 1 million per year. This is absolutely crazy.
yeah, exactly. So shout out to that team because I know that they've been working hard and. But it's just truly incredible just to see because I don't think people really understand how big Giga Shanghai has become a part of that market. And they're even shipping obviously to Canada because it's just cheaper from they're able to get the incentives, specifically the Model Y. But that team is just cranking out at an insane rate right now. If there's any thoughts, feel free to chime in. Otherwise, I can hit the next topic.
I think the China one is interesting because of the news that broke around Tesla and a bunch of automakers signing an agreement with the Chinese government to not be don't be too good with your pricing now. That was basically the agreement, right? To really uphold I guess socialistic values it was one of the bullet points. What's interesting here is that it really highlights the pricing power of Tesla, even in a region, especially in a region like China, where the Shanghai factory is their most profitable factory, their most efficient factory, and it's really set up to get the cars out into the world as quickly and as cheaply as possible. What's interesting about this agreement, though, and I was watching part of Stephen Mark Ryan's video this morning. If this causes any issues in China from a local selling perspective, because this basically what this says is, hey, Tesla, you can't go too low. You're just going to have to make more money. Sorry, we just won't be able to be too price competitive. That factory is set up to be a exporter as well, right? So the rate of production and Shanghai's growth, the factory, should continue to increase into the coming quarters, regardless of that dynamic. They'll just sell it internationally, which might open up other markets that maybe they were waiting on if this dynamic causes any sort of hurdles. It's just something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
I thought it was a gift. Oh, sorry, Amy, go ahead.
I have something quick to add there. My understanding is that they are going to be able to offer incentives. Tesla came immediately out after this news and amped up the Chinese referral program, and that is a way to give buyers incentives and to best form of advertising has always been Tesla's own customer. And then the second piece of news we had coming out of Giga Shanghai, because I have a flight, so I'm going to have to leave here in a second, is that they are laying off battery assembly workers in Giga Shanghai. There were 3 assembly lines for batteries. This from the first assembly line that they built. That's the most manual line. That's the one where they're taking the workers away because they think that they can, number one, ramp up volume production and on the second line, so make it more productive and not need the people. And then the second thing that's going on here is this is an indication that Highland is getting a lot closer, because what we know that Highland is going to have from many leaks is an M3P battery. We know it's going to have a structural pack. CATL has 3 different types of structural packs and probably many levels within that. So we're not quite sure which of CATL's structural pack is going to be. One report said the New Zealand, which between the M3P is coming in about 700 kilometers of range. The Sheelan pack is 1,000 kilometers of range. You're getting reports of something anywhere from 60 kilowatt hours to 72 kilowatt hour battery. So we really won't know the precise specs until it comes out. But this is going to be a powerful car, an LMFP technology is cheaper, it's fire resistant, it will charge quick, it will have greater range, and this will be something I'm just waiting for Tesla Q to try and spin it. Oh, Tesla is laying off workers, but they're laying off workers in a very specific group because that's how much their COGS is coming down, and that's how much of the production process that they're removing, that they don't have a place to move those workers to, even though they're ramping up production, because they're going to be buying structural packs. You don't need to assemble a pack with a structural pack. If you're going to dual castings, you're taking away many stations in the factory. I'm interested in Jeff's opinions on how that process will usually work in a factory.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. It was a great point, great analysis of kind of what they're doing. That is what they're doing. They're you're constantly evolving, and Tesla is like the shining example of being able to roll these changes in pretty quickly. And what you would when you're going to go when you're going to increase automation internally, you're going to reduce labor. It's just going to happen. It happens in other industries as well. I've watched a pretty big transformation in on a particular product line. It's very popular that people are using today, putting in their ears. And I'll just tell you that when you do that, you will reduce headcount, but then they're also making this transition to, if pack production is going to be external and come in, that way, and they have that partnership set up with cattle. I mean, that's great. That's a great setup for Tesla, and they can take kind of their engineering and start moving it over into other areas. Their factory engineering work in other different areas. So this is good on the COGS front. This is good on several different fronts. And cattle's got, right now it's believed that they have excess capacity. So I'm assuming they're striking a fairly good deal. And then Tesla, you have to go back to that certainty of supply and that certainty of demand that they have. So when you're a supplier to Tesla, they give you a number. They're not going to push that supply. They're not going to push an inventory back to you. So you're going to build and put the capacity in place, and they're going to put penalties on you if you don't do it. So I actually thought that was great analysis, Amy. I love it. And I thought that the pricing thing in China, I think it was a gift for Tesla, because first off, there are other avenues. It could be incentives or insurance or so forth. There are things that they can do, but they're going to introduce new models to take their MSRPs down. So remember, BYD is already there with a sub $30,000 vehicle, and that's what's driving a lot of their numbers up, right? Tesla is even participating in that price tier. So now Tesla is going to participate in that price tier, very soon, and then over the next couple of years with Gen 3. And that's the way that they're going to address the market and the pricing challenges out there, new models, which is great for an OEM.
I gotta go because I have a flight back home.
Bye.
Thanks, you guys. It was
Thank
so
you very
interesting.
much,
What was I
Amy,
gonna
and thank you
say?
for your good research on batteries. This is just
But
so good. Thank you.
When I'm not flying the airplane, it doesn't wait for me.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
Autopilot. See it.
I'm used to not having to worry. The plane's going nowhere without me normally.
Take care.
All right. Thanks to Amy. She's got to catch a flight, but yeah, no, I think, Jeff, you were bringing, sharing some really good knowledge along with Amy as well, really on the batteries and what they're doing there. But it's just, I think the other thing I wanted to mention was just, we see there's videos even literally that came out today, from Cybertruck and Z. Shout out to him for literally just sharing a lot of videos and clips. And this is also from him too. There's a video of a Cybertruck in it, but they're testing in New Zealand, and so we just know that this is pretty much close to the final. This is close to the final stages of really just getting these things ready. So they're just making final tweaks. There were some other videos of it actually going over like a frozen pond or frozen lake with the camo on it. So we're getting closer and closer to these two products being released. So you're probably going to have a delivery event for the Cybertruck. You're probably going to have an announcement of a refreshed Model 3. There's all the indicators of this happening. Again, it's funny because it's like I live in the Bay Area and yet I'm seeing all of these like sightings. And so I feel like whenever I'm at home, I'm like wasting my life because I should be on the road trying to find these. But unfortunately, I can't be on the road like the Kilowatts or some of the other people that are just seeing these Cybertrucks all over Mountain View, Palo Alto and Fremont. But we are getting closer and closer to these two big announcements / events that are happening probably this quarter, if not this half.